Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to discuss the workbook question and answers of the poem Small Towns and the River. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin. Question 1. In a town, any death is mourned by all the people because the community has strong bonds and shared experiences. Question 2. The poet views rituals as permanent because the answer would be that the rituals provide a sense of continuity and stability amidst the transient or the fleeting nature of human life. Question 3. The poet repeats life and death in the second stanza because over here you could write that this is a repetition which is used and it emphasizes the cyclic nature of existence where life is followed by death, happiness is followed by moments of sadness. These are the ways in which you could go ahead with the answer. Question 4. The river to the poet seems to be immortal because. So you will write over here that the river is immortal or it does not die because it flows continuously and it represents the eternal, the continuous, unstoppable aspect of elements of nature. In this context, the river. Question 5. The poet talks of the immortality of water because. You will write that water in its various forms, whether it is in a lake, in a river, in an ocean, it represents a continuous and an unending cycle in nature. Question 6. The poet talks of a shrine of happy pictures of childhood because. So here you will say that childhood memories represent the shrine of happy pictures because childhood is considered the golden period of a person's life and it must be cherished and seen to be sacred. That is why he uses the word shrine over here. Question 7. Childhood is the golden period of a person's life because if you see this question, it is a repetition of question 6, but there it was asking you to explain a phrase, the shrine of happy pictures. Here they are asking you about why childhood is considered a golden period. So we will be smart and we will answer it as that this period is marked by innocence, joy and happiness, and it is because of this it is considered a golden period when you do not have the tensions, the worries and the responsibilities which are to be followed and adhered to by an adult. Question 8. The dead are placed towards the west because. Here you will write that this symbolizes the end of life and the direction towards which the soul would begin its journey. If the soul is sleeping with its feet pointing to the west, when you would wake up, or when the soul would rather wake up, it would directly go into the east and start a new journey. Question 9. The cool bamboo is placed in the sunlight because. You're going to write that this basically signifies or represents renewal and rejuvenation in nature. At the same time, you could explain how the cool bamboo could be considered a symbol which suggests the resilience of a bamboo tree even when it is standing upright and tall, no matter how harsh the weather conditions it might have to face. Question 10. In small towns, people do not want rebirth because or as. Sometimes children get confused when the word as is used. You will answer it as that they aspire or they hope for spiritual fulfillment and peace in the afterlife. They want that whatever worries, tensions and responsibilities they have considered and followed in this life, they want to be free from it, unite with God and go up to a spiritual plane where they would be satisfied and content and lead a very simple, humble, peaceful afterlife. Let us look at some of the short questions which are there in your workbook. How does the poet picture her hometown in the poem? You will answer it as that the poet pictures or imagines her hometown as a calm and unchanging one. It is nestled or situated in the middle of the trees. There is a sense of calmness, it is serene, it has an idyllic atmosphere that remains constant through different seasons, and it is because of this constant unchanging nature of her hometown that she describes it in the poem. Question 2. What according to the poet is transient and what is permanent? Now see, sometimes some of us might not understand what could be the meaning of the word transient. They purposely trick the students in the examination hall. How are we going to answer this? Look at the word permanent. And what is in contrast or opposite to the word permanent? If you see the wording of the question, it is asking you for a comparison between two things. So based on that, I think you will automatically be able to decode the meaning for those who sometimes face difficulty with vocabulary. So we could answer it as, according to the poet, human life is transient, temporary, while nature, such as the elements like the river, the clouds, the rain, these rituals of nature, these routine habits of nature are permanent, and at the same time cultural rituals which are performed in this particular hometown of the poet, they are also permanent, because remember, it is said how these rituals are passed down from one generation to the next. Question 3. How does the poet show nature to be immortal? Now this you will have to know the meaning of certain words. You can note it down for now and try to remember it till your exams so that you all can deal with such questions better. The poet shows nature to be immortal through the imagery of the river, which flows continuously. The river never dies, and it embodies an eternal cycle of water from the rain to the mist on the mountain tops. All these are the different ways in which you could say that the river's supply of water remains constant, helping the river to flow continuously, thereby making it immortal and eternal. Question 4. Contrast the period of childhood with that of adulthood in the context of the poem. This is a very interesting question, no doubt. So childhood is depicted as the shrine of happy pictures. It is a time of joy and innocence. In contrast, or you could use the phrase, on the other hand, adulthood is marked by anxiety for the future, or you could say anticipation for the future, and a greater awareness of life's transience. You could also say how adulthood is characterized by, bouts of responsibilities, duties that we need to perform in order to lead our life fully as an adult, which is not so much a necessity when we are still in the phase of childhood. Let us look at some of the long answer type questions. Question 1. Small Towns and the River is essentially a reflective poem. Discuss. This becomes a little technical, but we'll see how we can handle it for your level. So the poem is a reflective poem because it meditates on the themes of, or it deals with the themes of life and death, the permanence of rituals, and the immortality of nature. In this context, the river. The poet's contemplative tone, that is, the poet is thinking deeply and providing detailed observations about her hometown, and along with that she illustrates a deep thinking also about the flow of the river, connecting it through contrast with the life of human beings, where our existence is different from that of the natural world, where elements of nature such as the river are permanent while our lives are temporary. There is the consideration of the cycle of life and death that we need to go through. Question 2. In what way does the poem reflect the Indian way of life and Indian mode of thinking? This can come because with the new education policy 2020, they are asking the students to be aware of the local, the national context. So you can very possibly get this kind of a question. So the poem reflects on the Indian way of life through its depiction of a strong community bond. In this case, you could talk about the community of Pasighat, the Siang River. All these give details about how the poem is related to the state of Arunachal Pradesh, and this particular community observes the importance of rituals and a spiritual outlook on life and death. The cultural practice of placing the dead facing west and the spiritual journey towards the east resonate or reflect on the Indian beliefs about afterlife and rebirth. You can easily include 2-3 more examples from the poem to substantiate or support the claims that you are making in your answer over here. Question 3. In what way does the poet use the river as a metaphor in the poem? You can get it as a metaphor also. River can also be asked as a question on personification depending on the mood of the examiner entirely. So you would say that the river is used as a metaphor for the continuous or the eternal flow of life and the immortal aspects of nature. It represents continuity, the unending cycle of water, and the soul's journey, which is in contrast to the ephemeral nature or the temporary nature of human life. If it is personification, just change the word a little bit here and there using a similar answer for your explanation of the personification in case you get it. Question 4 and the last one for today. The poem is, or the poet is concerned about life, death and spirituality in the poem. Discuss with close reference to the text. So they've given you with focus about what are the 3 things you need to talk about. So the poet's concern with life and death is evident in the repeated mention of these cycles and the rituals that surround them. Spirituality is a central theme with reference to the soul's journey towards the golden east and a desire to walk with the gods. The river symbolizes the eternal, continuous aspects of nature, providing a contrast to the human mortality and highlighting the poet's reflection on the deeper meaning of existence. See how I have made use of all 3 concepts when I have framed the answer for you. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.